Alright, what is up guys, welcome back to a Grand Cross video, and firstly we've been blessed today. Deldry has visited the tavern, so that's all good. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is talk about the Attack on Titan units, and yesterday we did make a video about the collab units, if they're ever going to return, and my assumption is yes, they will return, but maybe with a twist. We might get some more different units for Attack on Titan and Tensura, but you can pretty much watch that video if you want to know what I think of it. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the Attack on Titan units and are they still usable. I can already picture what the thumbnail is going to be because LV Meliodas is a huge counter to majority of the people since, well, to be fair, LV is a counter to everyone really. What he does is literally unreal. So that kind of brings the question, are the Attack on Titan units still usable? And we're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top and tell you what I think the worst unit is and go all the way up to like the best. And yeah, I'm going to have some gameplay in the background as well, so you can kind of see a gist. Obviously it's not live gameplay, or it's the full length of it. It's just some clips to throw in to make the video a bit better. And while making this video, I had, you know, quite a lot of success actually. Granted, my gear's pretty decent now, so I am majority starting first. So if you start first, you kind of always win. And yeah, my gear's just like I'm kind of always banging it. I find a pretty decent team. Anyway, starting off, now bear in mind that LV Meliodas is not used in every single team. On screen now, I'm just going to throw up some pictures, I guess, of the most used characters, and you'll notice there's only really one green that I see people using, and that's Merlin. That's the only green you're gonna really see. Other than that, you're probably only ever gonna see a bunch of blues and reds. You know, like Kings. Let's say, you know, Escanors. Actually, no, never mind. Green Escanor. You'll see Green Escanor too. So it's between him or Red Escanor people are using. And since obviously LV is a character in the game now, people I think go towards the Red Escanor more, since he can remove ultimate gauge, so it's a bit better. But anyway, the worst Attack on Titan unit I think in the game has to be probably Levi. Now the reason why is because, well, what's his whole gimmick? His whole gimmick is the crit. And there's one thing you should know about Attack on Titan units, is that they all have a single target and AoE attack. Now every single target attack that you have is literally one attack, so that's kind of good, right? Less chance to actually crit. But then he has Levi's discard. Now this card attacks 4 times, so a very high chance that it's going to crit at least one of the attacks. And against the LV Meliodas, you can never use this card, right? And it's pretty much useless at that point. And it also, Levi's whole gimmick is literally, if he has higher HP, he's going to hit a crit. So yeah, you literally never can use this card. The red card, or this card here, you can use, but it's just might not do as much damage, because once again you have to hit a crit, and if you don't have high enough HP, you're not going to crit anything. And since there are more blues and reds running around, you might not see any much use for him. And his ultimate cancels buffs and stances, so kind of good to actually use on any character that puts a shield up, or even Red Escanor, since it will cancel his buff. That's kind of cool. I've seen some Estaroses, but not really. But you could still sort of use him. But yeah, I think Levi's probably by far the worst one, just for the fact he has this card here that you can never use if there is a lost vein, because it's just going to feed up his cards, and you're literally never going to be able to win a game with this guy. Okay, so for the next character, it's a mix between, but I think for the sake of it, we'll just do it. I think it might be Titanform Eren Yeager. Now, the reason why is, one, Eren's actually kind of not too bad, surprisingly, since the two main people that are kind of making LV ult is King and Lilia. Since one, they can freeze, petrify, remove buffs, heal, and also remove ultimate gauges, all that good stuff. And Eren, believe me when I say this, obviously, granted, I do have UR gear for him and every cosmetic. He hits very, very hard. And you can see, look, 44k CC, 11k attack, which, I mean, it's not the highest, but whatever. And in his pre-form, he does do more damage per orb he does fill up. And he does fill up orb since he does have this card here. Which, this, if you get a good start, you could one-shot, or one turn, I should say, any blue character. So I've done it to literally... I've done it to King, I've done it to Lilia, and I've done it to Meliodas. Bear in mind, people are still using, was it pierced comps? So if you do run to a pierced team, having Eren actually isn't too bad because you can pretty much one-shot, like, or one-turn any character. And this card here, believe it or not, isn't too bad. Now, bear in mind, if you look at Aaron's crit chance, it is 24%. So you're not always going to hit crit. You're not always going to hit crit. And if you do, it's a fat L because well, yeah, hitting crit against Lost Fane is always bad, right? And he is bear in mind, he is a green. So if Lost Fane does get some good card upgrades, he will pretty much kill him straight away. And granted, bear in mind, Aaron hasn't gotten the buff yet on Global. On Japan, he does fully heal when he does transform. Which, by the way, I think I can show you. You can see gameplay in the background. He literally survives on 1 HP, and I transformed. But because the buff isn't in the game yet, he's literally still weak, and they need to add that to the game to make him usable. Bear in mind as well, Aaron has to be 6'6", or, you know, high 5'6", 4'6" to be usable, otherwise it's just no point. But one good thing about Aaron is this card here. So, Leave None Alive. Now, this one's pretty sick. The reason why is because, one, it disables ultimates. So, once again, Lost Fane whole gimmick is to ult. And if you can disable his ultimate for 1 or 2 turns, it's pretty sick. Now, bear in mind, it is obviously a cleanse ability. So, you could literally get, you know, cleansed by Lilia or King. But the best thing is, Aaron is a green. So, Aaron can almost one-shot or one-turn either one of those 2 characters, so that they can't really purify it. And you can see some gameplay in the background. It does work, and it is pretty sick, and gives him enough time to actually change into into his Titan form. Now, when he does change his Titan form, there's some drawback because his crit chance is still 24%, but he does hit twice on each of his attacks, and believe me, it does crit quite a bit. And now the good thing here is obviously he does change his card. So boom, this one now removes ultimate gauge, so always good to stop Aaron or Meliodas from actually ulting. This one here does amplify, so if you get a gold or silver card, you could possibly one-shot or two-shot Lost Fane Meliodas, depending on what gear he has, and that's kind of good. And then this one here, Ultimate Disable, is kind of good. King can't petrify you. But yeah, Aaron's a bit of a mixed character. I'd say he's more or less still usable, I say. But it's more risky since, you know, he is a green, and since there are, like, you know, a lot of characters that are running around stopping you from owing, like Merlin and Escanor, it's quite hard to actually get his O off. But when it does, it comes in clutch. That's why I recommend running, if you're going to be using Aaron, I recommend running Gopher, because Gopher, you need to upgrade Aaron's cards to actually get his ult quick, to disable ultimates, to remove ultimate gauges, to do mad damage, and he can also attack disable, so it's good against people like Merlin. Okay, the next character, Aaron again. Now, I think this one is really good, mainly because, one, it's passive, it's actually kind of sick. Increased hero damage dealt by unknown races, so pretty much it's only against Gopher. Now, Gopher you're going to see used quite a bit in most teams now, and Gopher, if you get a good start or a good 2 turns, you could pretty much just kill him straight away with Aaron. Bear in mind, this card here is actually kind of sick as well, similar to Dariari. He will get evasion for 1 turn and buff up his attack and basic stats, which is kind of sick. He was a 6/6 unit that we get for free, so he's gonna one-shot almost any character. Bear in mind he's a blue, so he does have type advantage against Lost Fane Meliodas, and at least for me, it's kind of good since I can use obviously all of cosmetics and UR gear, and then this card here, it's okay. Cancel stances, which to be fair, I actually didn't even know he did that. That's actually kind of sick. So if there is I guess Estarossa trying to troll you, you can just cancel it. But yeah, Aaron probably the second best unit, mainly because he is blue, so he's got type advantage, just a solid unit, and can take out Gopher pretty quick. Now he doesn't have any ultimate removal or ultimate disable or anything like that, so you kind of have to bring someone else to pretty much stop Meliodas from ulting. So probably either like a Merlin or a Red Escanor I'd probably recommend bringing, since you kind of got all type advantage pretty much there. Okay, lastly, and probably the best unit. Now, the reason why I think she's the best unit is because, once again, her passive is so good. It's literally insane. So, increase all stats by hero. Okay, look, listen. Increase all stats of the hero by 3% for each ally that takes damage. All stats. That's insane. Damage, HP, everything, right? And if you ult when this is max, good lord. And not only that, if you do have UR gear for her, which I'm very tempted to do, but I can't have the resources, it will just, it's insane. My only regret is not getting a 6-6. I only have a 2-6, which doesn't actually do too much damage. Now, the good thing is, it only increases the ultimate damage, not the actual increased basic stats. So, regardless of what your ultimate is, you will get the 50 basic stats regardless. It's just, it might not kill, and that's very possible with Mikasa. Now, the thing is, the only thing that kind of holds her back is the fact that her cards aren't too crazy. Now, bear in mind, obviously, late game, she's sick. This card here, not too bad. Bleeds, does some decent damage. It's not an actual attack skill, so you can't get attack stable, which is nice. This skill is a bit sus to use. So it does AoE damage, like I said. Like how every Attack on Titan does have one AoE card. But the thing is, not too much damage. Bear in mind, you have to kind of build up a passive and get the ultimate to do actually some good damage. But it does, like, I think it does it does 2 or 3 attacks, which once again, she does have the highest crit damage out of most people. And bear in mind, you do double the stats when you ult, so you will be hitting crits quite a bit. So you kind of want to be wary about using her. You kind of got to pray early round that you don't hit a crit. You kind of got to just rush your ult with her. And one thing too, I guess, with older Attack on Titan units, you kind of always want to rush ultimate, which is pretty much the main thing from the game right now, which is rushing ults and kind of getting off. Now that's the thing, right? Why use these characters when... Why rush ult with Mikasa, Eren, Levi, when you can rush ult with Meliodas and pretty much win the game? Mainly because people aren't using meta teams and they want to have some fun and use other characters. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. Kind of a short one, a decent one. I will have clips in the background so you would have saw some gameplay of all of the characters and showing them off. They are very still usable. Not meta, bear in mind. Very usable, more than most people, right? You can throw one in if you want to mix up. I think Eren has a lot of potential since he does have like most of the stuff like disable ultimates. He does 1 AoE attack, which is good, so you're not gonna hit a crit. You're not actually gonna hit a crit. Good against Pierce teams since he is a green. Good against all the actual nukers, but since he doesn't have the buff yet, I wouldn't recommend using him since if he does transform, you don't have any cards, he will die next turn. And even with actual minus 35% decrease in attack related stats, if Lost Fane does have an ult, he's still going to kill. So it's mad. But that shouldn't stop you from using them. If they are your favorite character, I do love using Mikasa. I'm tempted to give her some UR gear. Go ahead. They're really fun. Mikasa being one of my favorites, probably. Well, that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the actual Attack on Titan units, if you're still using them. I did run into a few people who are actually still using them, which is always nice to see, because the fact you can probably still, actually, maybe not now, but you could still use them in Japan when they did release. So they're in a good place right now, and you can kind of pick your poison. Bear in mind, I wouldn't recommend Levi. Levi is just, he's going to hit too many crits. You're going to build up Lost Fane's cards, and Lost Fane's AoE card, it's basically an ultimate in itself. So, yeah, probably don't use Levi. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and peace.